Now, tightened security measures have been put in place by the City of Cape Town ahead of today's housing handover development in Durbanville. Last week, the city was forced to delay their plans as angry residents threatened to forcefully remove beneficiaries expected to receive about 160 new homes. eNCA's Ronald Masinda is on that story. Good morning, Ronald. I mean, it is a good story, although it has come with this controversy of some people not being happy last week and all kinds of threats. But finally, it looks like the handover will be taking place today, and hopefully whatever caused the threats has been resolved.
Well, good morning, Pratan. Well, emotions are already running high here in Morning Star. As you can see in the background, many residents of Morning Star are waiting with anticipation for the arrival of Malusi Boy, who is the Mayco member for Human Settlements. People here are saying that Malusi Boy and the City of Cape Town have done wrong in terms of the allocation of the houses, because according to a High Court ruling which was made late last year, around 70% of people were supposed to receive housing, and that the majority or many people who have been allocated housing here are not from this area. Now, for more on this issue, we are joined by community leader Zane Williams. Zane, thank you so much indeed for your time. Now, of course, emotions continue to run high here. Just tell us a bit about last week, what took place, because the City of Cape Town says that there were violent protests here.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity to actually state our side of the story as well, Ronald. I really appreciate it, and thank you to the viewers. Ronald, the third handover, the day on the 2nd, the community organization in Morning Star, the MDI, received a list of about 12 people that were supposed to move in. As an example, 4 of those people are not from the community of Morning Star, but gave their addresses, a domicilium where they stay, as being from this community. One example of those is a personal friend of mine's home, which was built from the ground. He's been staying there all these years. We've been friends all these years. I've frequented his home. There's never been such a person staying there. So people were giving fictitious addresses, and that was pointed out to the city in our High Court affidavits with these negotiations to get to that High Court ruling. The community is on a knife's edge when it comes to this development. It's like giving somebody a plate of food, and the plate of food is then taken away and given to somebody else, a total stranger, while you have to sit back and watch somebody else that's not even from the community, while the community is staying in backyards, receiving a home. You know, those are all the contributing factors to the high emotions at the moment in Morning Star.
This building project was started quite a number of years ago, and the first people were supposed to have moved around September 2018. This can only stall more plans.
Ronald, I need to make it very, very clear, and I need to reiterate it. The community of Morning Star are not against the process of having people moving in here as soon as possible. They are not. They are not against even people from other areas coming into this development. They sincerely are not. The problem is, why are somebody else getting prioritized before the people that's also been waiting decades for housing? The lady sitting there, for instance, she's been waiting almost more than 20 years for a house. So is the lady standing there, 20 or more years for a house. Yet young people, and it was made clear to the MDI, the organization representing the community, that they are moving in the oldest people first. But if you took a walk through this development and see who the current people in this development, you'll see some of them are still youth. So the doing and the saying is two different things. And when there's a High Court instruction, in my humble opinion, and by a legal opinion, when there's a High Court instruction, there's 2 parties involved. And from that High Court instruction, a new process unfolds. And that needs to be communicated. At the moment, the city is only one-sidedly handling the moving in of these people.
And the city is quite resolute that the handing over will take place today. What is the next plan of action?
You know, Ronald, national guidelines for developing a project like this clearly states, you may not disturb the social cohesion of a community when you do such a development in a community. What's happening now is this past weekend, there was a huge fight going on in this area. A huge fight going on in this area. The city is using apartheid-style engineering methods to gather people conflict, because people are now physically starting to fight each other. People that were for 30, 40 years, as long as we've been in this community, were neighbors, sisters, brothers, friends, aunts, uncles. These people are now physically fighting with each other. That is totally disturbing the social cohesion of this community, and that is actually totally then against this High Court instruction. So then the High Court instruction is null and void, because you are now overstepping your boundaries. You are now going against national guidelines, which is totally wrong.
Right. Situation really remains tense here, Ratan. If I can walk slightly towards my right as well, we are already seeing quite a heavy security presence. We are seeing law enforcement also standing by, and this is what Malusi Boy, the MACO member for Human Settlements, said, that they will not be stopped in giving people housing, even though many people who we spoke to here saying that they are up in arms, they've been backyard dwellers, living here for many years, and that they've been overlooked for this housing project.
Thank you very much, Ronald Masinda, there in Durbanville. We'll have to wait and see how that plays itself out today. Not a good situation indeed. People need housing. Now